Starting this evening with that major investigation into an actor with Sacramento ties arrested on sex abuse charges in New Mexico. Now facing allegations connected to Sacramento's B Street Theater. Timothy Busfield is accused of touching two boys while working on a show in New Mexico. He was in court today to face those charges. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Gulston Dark.
I'm Lisa Gonzalez. So today we've learned he's now accused of sexually abusing a 16-year-old girl in Sacramento. In Albuquerque, Busfield appeared virtually today. The judge holding him in jail until a district court judge takes his case, which should happen within the next 5 business days. The actor did not enter a plea today, but released a video before his arrest denying doing anything wrong.
Now, in newly released court documents, we've learned that a father contacted authorities in New Mexico yesterday claiming Busfield sexually abused his daughter while she auditioned at Midtown's B Street Theater, which Busfield co-founded here in Sacramento. The father says that his daughter was 16 years old at the time, and the father says that Busfield asked the family to not report him if he went to therapy, and the father, a therapist himself, said he agreed.
KCRA 3 Cecil Hannibal joins us live in the newsroom. So Cecil, you spoke with that father. I'm sure this whole thing has been difficult for the family. What did he tell you? What have you learned?
Well, the father named in the complaint tells me he spoke to a detective just yesterday. We had a nearly 30-minute conversation with him, and we are not naming him to protect the identity of the alleged victim, who we have not been able to speak with directly. But he tells us this goes back to 1999, an incident that he says changed the trajectory of his daughter's life.
Okay, yesterday I got a text from someone with a link to this story, and I clicked on it, and my gut fell out. My heart broke, and my gut fell to the floor because I feel partly responsible for.
New court documents from New Mexico name a father now alleging Tim Busfield sexually abused his daughter at B Street Theater in Sacramento. The complaint says while auditioning for the defendant at B Street Theater, the 16-year-old reported that defendant kissed her and put his hands down her pants and touched her privates. The defendant begged the family to not report to law enforcement if he received therapy. The father, who is a therapist, recalls that meeting with Busfield.
Obviously, you know, this guy's crying, he's showing remorse, he's apologizing, he promises never to do anything, da-da-da-da-da-da. And so I said, basically, I'll tell you what. You know, he's basically begging me not to go to the police.
Do you regret not going to the police?
Now? Yes, absolutely. Are you kidding? After reading what I read yesterday? Absolutely.
In a statement to KCRA 3, B Street Theater said in part, B Street Theater is aware of a report concerning Timothy Busfield regarding an incident alleged to have occurred at B Street Theater 25 years ago. It goes on to say, B Street Theater retained legal counsel at the time to conduct an internal investigation, and Mr. Busfield has not had any role in the organization since 2001. The father tells KCRA 3.
It's very hard because I feel really guilty about this. Because as a therapist, I think I did the right thing. As a father, I did not.
Now, a lot still left to uncover with this story, so here is who we're still waiting to speak with. We've contacted the alleged victim, but have not been able to speak with her directly yet. We also contacted Buck Busfield, Timothy's brother, who is the co-founder of B Street Theater. We received a statement from B Street Theater, but we are still trying to speak with the board members directly. In the newsroom, Cecil Hannibal, KCRA 3 News.
All right, Cecil, thank you. Timothy Busfield and his brother Buck co-founded the B Street Theater in Midtown Sacramento back in 1986.
In a statement sent to us just before 5 this afternoon, the theater said in part, as an organization that has served Sacramento and the greater region for decades, our mission remains to provide a safe, creative, and inclusive environment for artists, students, families, and audiences. Our thoughts are with everyone affected by abuse or exploitation in any form. The B Street Theater goes on to say that the incident happened about 25 years ago. The theater says that it retained legal counsel at the time to conduct an internal investigation. And it goes on to say that Busfield has not been involved with the organization since 2001. But the theater still uses the Busfield name for fundraising. The site says by joining the Busfield Society, you become one of the dedicated supporters.
Now, going back to that case from New Mexico, that case stems from a TV series called The Cleaning Lady with 2 young children as part of the cast. In November of 2024, a doctor called police to investigate a case of sexual abuse. Court documents show in February Warner Brothers looked into this from a tip through the SAG-AFTRA hotline, but no misconduct was ever discovered. 2 months ago, police contacted Busfield, who said it was highly likely he would tickle the kids, describing the set as a playful environment. Well, last week, Albuquerque police issued a warrant for arrest. Warner Brothers sent a statement following Busfield's arrest, saying in part, quote, "The health and safety of our cast and crew is always our top priority, especially the safety of minors on our productions. We take all allegations of misconduct very seriously and have processes in place to promptly and thoroughly investigate and take appropriate action."
And Busfield's lawyer tells our sister station in New Mexico that the actor took a lie detector test. In a statement, his lawyer says, quote, "Tim Busfield denies the allegations in the criminal complaint and maintains they are completely false. As a voluntary step, he submitted to an independent polygraph examination regarding those allegations and passed." And a spokesperson for NBC says the network has decided to hold off on playing an upcoming episode of Law & Order featuring Busfield, which was supposed to air tomorrow night. Busfield is married to actor Melissa Gilbert. Her publicist says that she won't talk about the situation while the legal process plays out. Stick with KCRA 3 News as we continue to learn more about Busfield's arrest and his ties here to the Sacramento area.